Merit over mayhem. Why CRT and DEI must be rejected for America's future. The growing institutional embrace of critical race theory and diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives demands a clear response grounded not in ideology or identity, but in justice, merit, and equal protection under the law. While countless academic articles now defend CRT and DEI through frameworks like institutional racial paralysis, it's time to acknowledge what these frameworks obscure: the erosion of merit, the weaponization of guilt, and the cultivation of division. CRT and DEI, rebranding Marxism by identity. CRT began as a legal theory that reinterprets American law and governance through the lens of race and power. At its core, it claims that U.S. institutions are structurally and irredeemably racist. DEI programs, built from this foundation, promote policies that explicitly favor identity over achievement, embedding race-based preferences not as exceptions, but as mandates. This ideology mimics Marxism. Where Marx divided the world into bourgeoisie and proletariat, CRT recasts the conflict as oppressor versus oppressed. In both, individual rights are discarded in favor of collective identity. The goal is to re-engineer society by forcing equal outcomes through state and institutional power. Disparate impact. Justice turned inside out. The recent Trump administration order, restoring equality of opportunity and meritocracy, rightly challenged disparate impact liability, a doctrine that penalizes institutions for racial disparities in outcomes even when no intent to discriminate is present. This is a legal absurdity. Disparate impact flips justice on its head by assuming guilt through statistical disparities. Under this model, a race-neutral policy that produces unequal group outcomes is automatically suspect. We get bureaucratic scorekeeping by race in place of justice based on intent. The dangerous dogma of prejudice plus power. Advocates of CRT often define racism as prejudice plus power. This doctrine, popularized in activist trainings, is morally incoherent and deeply corrosive. It denies the universality of prejudice, exempting entire groups from accountability. It reframes justice as the redistribution of power, not equal treatment under law. It excuses retribution, tribalism, and intolerance, so long as they're committed in the name of the oppressed. Racism is not merely a structural force, it's a condition of the human heart. Any ideology that denies this truth replaces morality with identity-based tribalism. DEI. From inclusion to institutional decline. DEI, once marketed as a movement toward fairness, has mutated into a force of systemic dysfunction. Lower standards by prioritizing demographics over qualifications, increase division by reducing individuals to group identity, sap productivity by replacing excellence with ideological conformity, undermine public trust by pushing equity over competence. The cities and universities most captured by DEI policies, San Francisco, Portland, and elite academic institutions, now face surging crime, declining enrollment, public dissatisfaction, and institutional decay. This isn't failure, it's the natural outcome of replacing merit with ideology. What we had and what we risk losing. Before CRT and DEI, America's imperfect but noble trajectory was built on foundational principles: equal protection under the law, colorblind justice, personal responsibility. Opportunity is based on effort, not ancestry. Trump's executive order doesn't abolish civil rights, it restores their original purpose. It recenters dignity in labor, judging people by character and competence, a justice system grounded in proof, not presumption. This isn't regression, it's renewal. What we must do. To preserve a just society, we must dismantle DEI bureaucracies in public and academic institutions, repeal CRT-infused curricula and hiring protocols, uphold laws based on individual rights, not group grievances, support leaders and educators championing merit, truth, and unity over division. Courage is the new equity. America is at a crossroads. Down one path lies a racialized technocracy where bureaucrats enforce equality of outcomes and silence dissent. Down the other lies a return to ordered liberty, where justice is impartial. Character matters more than color, and everyone is measured by their contribution, not their category. Rejecting the DEI regime is not paralysis. It is clarity and courage. Now is the time to say what many already know in their hearts: enough.